What's up everybody, welcome to Giga Gaming, the place where it's all fun and games, and we are taking a look at Alpha 20, 7 Days to Die. And I have 7 tips and tricks to make your life a hell of a lot easier, because this game has got a lot more difficult. So let's jump right into it and start at number 1. First off, workstations throughout the game are always broken. Any cement mixers, any forges, whether you find them in the traders, whether you find them in other POIs, they will always be broken. You will still get the chance to find the schematic, but you will never find a working one. So try and plan where you put your skill points in relation to that. You really think you need to get a forge, you need to get a workbench, you need to get a cement mixer as early as you can, then go into that tech tree and put your skill points into working towards those, because you will never find a working one. Number 2, we have food. Food is so much more difficult to find in this game than it was in any of the previous alphas. So you really need to make use of what you've got lying around. Any animals that you find, spend the time to try and kill them. Whether you've got a bow and arrow or a gun or whatever you've got, use it and make the most out of that meat. If you can find any nests, always look in them to try and find more eggs. I found that there's actually a better chance of finding eggs in nests, or it seems that way. So putting a skill point into MasterChef and being able to make eggs and bacon near the start of the game could be a lifesaver. Sticking with the food and drink, water is number 3. Water is a hell of a lot easier to find now than it was before, because with these new cities that have been developed and built, there are drainage ditches down most of the sides of the roads. So all you got to do is get your glass jars, find one of them and dip it into the water, and you've got glass jars full of murky water then. So no longer do you have to go around finding a swimming pool or a lake or anything like that around the map, because it's dead simple now. Also, when you're trying to boil water, you don't need a cooking pot anymore. So you can make fresh water from a campfire right from the very first second that you step into this game. All you need is a glass jar of murky water and some wood to put in a campfire. Number 4 is a slightly more threatening one. All zombies now have the ability to duck, so they can get through a 1 meter tall gap. Now in Alpha 19 it was quite a commonplace. You'd stick a frame in front of a doorway and you could just wail on those zombies as they were trying to break through the frame, and you could fix it up. But now a lot of the time they actually duck to the lower level of that block, so you can't see them like the spider zombies used to do in Alpha 19, and they could hit you through the blocks. Now all zombies can do this, so you have to be so careful about using this technique if you do go on to use this technique to fight zombies in POIs and even horde bases. Next at number 5 is the looting system. Now everything has changed with regards to this, especially when it comes to the different biomes that you're surviving in. So as you can see, I'm in a forest biome here, but my loot stage is the same as my level, which is 22. And when we go into my game stage is 26. Now if we go into the desert biome, this all changes. As you can see here, my level is still level 22, but in the desert, my loot stage is 43, nearly double what it was in the forest biome. So I've got a much better chance of getting better items in the desert biome. This goes even further when you go into the snow biome, where as you can see here, my level's still level 22, but my loot stage is 64 now, which is 3 times the level that it is in the forest biome. And then finally, when we move on to the burnt and wasteland biome, which is now the same thing, my level, as you can see, still level 22, but the loot stage is all the way up to 85. So 4 times as much as it is in the forest biome. There might be the temptation to move into these harder biomes early on in the game, but if you are new and you're not used to this game, I would strongly recommend staying in the forest biome for a bit, getting used to the game, and then later moving on to the different biomes. There is also a slight difference between being in cities and out in the wilderness. As you can see here, I'm in a desert biome and my loot stage is 47. But when we move out into the wilderness, the actual desert part of the place, you can see that my loot stage has dropped to 43 from not being in the city. This is only a minor change, but it's still going to affect the quality of the items that you get from looting. And finally, the last tip that I have for you, I like to call the equalizer. Everything so far has been basically making the game a little bit harder than it used to be. But now we have 4 pipe weapons. You have the pipe pistol, the pipe shotgun, the pipe rifle, and the pipe machine gun. They all take the exact same amount of items to build. So you need 4 iron pipe, 2 glue, and 6 wood. These are all incredibly easy to find. Wood obviously from trees, glue and short iron pipes. Just rummage through any rubbish that you find on the streets and you're going to find that in no time. They all use proper weapon ammo, so your shotgun shells, your 7.62 ammo, your 9mm. They all use those. So try and be a little bit sparing with them. But if you can get one of these built as soon as possible, and it is very possible you could get one of these built probably before you've even got to your first trader, you are setting yourself off for a great game. They do take a little bit of time to reload, so be careful when using them if you're using them with large groups of zombies, but they are definitely by far the most useful thing at the start of the game. So that is it for my 7 tips and tricks for Alpha 27 Days to Die, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope you find it useful. Please like, comment and subscribe for more content in the future. Remember to keep it all fun and games, guys. Goodbye.